can't believe I just hit that note. I wasn't
I don't
trying
know if
to. It's a little early in the morning. For me. For anyone who doesn't know, I have an unhealthy sleep schedule. I've slept for 3 hours.
We had to shoot nights, so that...
Your face is like red right here.
My call time was... What was... It was 1:30, then it was 7:30, then it was 8:30.
Oh, Brent's back,
and then
everybody.
It was 10
Brent's back, everyone.
p.m. It's all p.m.
PM, my goodness.
Brent is back. Tell him where you were.
I was filming a movie. It wasn't my movie. I was just an on-set dresser. But I was...
Who'd you dress?
On-set dresser.
Wait, who?
Set dresser.
Just kidding.
How many details can you give other than...
I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I never signed an NDA.
So you can tell him everything.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I signed an NDA.
If you didn't...
Although I probably still shouldn't say.
Oh yeah,
anything
don't
about
say any details about it. But like,
about the movie. It was just I mean, you can look it up. It's a movie called Supercell, and Alec Baldwin is in it.
Supercell.
He's not the main character. He's a side character, but they sell the movie on
Alec
Baldwin
is
being
there.
there. He filmed for a week when they were in Montana.
They didn't have that much money to have him as a main character.
Yeah. No, I mean,
well, no, it's apparently Bruce Willis does the same thing, where he's filmed like 40 movies. The VFX guy who was on it was talking about it. He'll come into a movie. He does this all the time, where he comes into a movie. He just gets he doesn't learn any of his lines. He just gets an earpiece, and they feed him his lines. And he works for 5 days, and that's it, and gets paid a bunch of money.
Yeah,
and I would love to do that.
That sounds awful. That sounds
awesome.
Dumb. I mean, yes, you get paid money, but
if I was getting paid buco bucks, I'd do that for 5 days.
Yeah, I think it would depend on if I had a family and I was famous enough that I could just go work for 5 days, like literally work for maybe 15 days in a year and get enough money to just be like, okay, I'm gonna go chill with the fam for the rest of the year.
I'd have to do like other things. I couldn't just do that.
Sounds so boring.
It does
15 days.
But it seems like they do other things.
And also not getting invested. I feel like if it's like
not getting what?
Invested
in the project. It's like just doing projects that only require you to be there for 5 days seems kind
of but I wouldn't do that all the time. It would be here and there kind of thing.
Okay, yes, but
just to make more money.
When was the last time you saw Bruce Willis in a regular movie?
Yeah, he's right. Glass is the last one I can think of.
Yeah.
And that was...
Oh, he was
that
one.
But that was like 3 years.
I'm not Bruce Willis. This is what I would do.
No.
I'm not going to follow the same format.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like that's so dumb to do that only.
Apparently, not Bruce Willis, but apparently Alec Baldwin, he was in Montana, and I wasn't in Montana when they filmed there. When they so he wasn't down in Georgia.
I wonder if that's what he does for the commercials he does. Like was it Capital One?
They probably just have, commercials usually only shoot for a day or two.
Yeah, I know, but
commercial
a day
they just feed him his lines still.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Probably.
Well, they probably have, because they're looking pretty much straight at camera. They probably just have a
teleprompter.
Teleprompter, yeah, that.
Yeah,
a teleprompter.
I mean, literally, Matthew McConaughey just does voiceover for all of this. He doesn't even speak.
Oh,
but he doesn't speak during the thing, but he's there still.
He is still there. Yeah.
He gets to sit in a car and look
I didn't know
into the sunset.
A lot of the more recent
Lincoln commercials.
A lot of the more recent Lincoln commercials have been directed and shot by Christopher Nolans DP.
Oh, really?
Like who did his first up until Dark Knight Rises. And after Dark Knight Rises, he stopped. Well, he basically in the video I was watching that was on what's the thing called? Anyway, Studio Binder, the Studio Binder channel. They got a lot of good content on there, but he just said
they have an expensive product as well.
They do have an expensive product, but he said I was just sort of done being the camera operator. I was ready to do something a little easier. So with the Lincoln commercials, I can go in. I can set up the lights, let someone else run the camera, and then I can just direct.
The DP?
Yeah.
Said he was tired of being a camera operator?
Yeah.
What? Why would he be a camera operator? He's the DP.
because he was one of those DPs who wanted to be behind his camera.
Well, that was his choice.
Yeah, I know, but he wanted to do something smaller. Like it's the same thing that what's his name? Roger Deakins does that. Roger Deakins shoots all his movies from behind camera.
That's why you have so many photos of him looking through the viewfinder.
Yeah. I know that there are. I know that it's not. And maybe it's not common. I don't know. This isn't enough. It's
Well,
most
I've
DPs
never
who
seen a DP who. They usually are
I've seen DPs like that,
sitting there doing the aperture,
especially on
in
smaller
Village.
stuff.
Oh, sitting
They're
in
usually
Village.
just in Village. The DP is like almost always in Village. And usually
Probably
they'll usually have an aperture adjuster, but
Oh,
they have the camera operator, and then they have a first AC who's pulling focus.
You gotta remember
It
though who
depends.
he's working with as well. He's almost his entire professional career was with Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan hates Video Village. He says the only thing
He does.
He does not sit in a Video Village. If he has maybe a personal monitor that he walks around with, but he says that he prefers
Same.
to stand next to the camera and see what the camera is seeing.
Okay, that's
I-
stupid because there's
I
so many
prefer-
other people who need to see the.
Well, no,
Village.
but
they still have Video Village.
They still have Video Village. It's more specifically Christopher Nolan doesn't like sitting away from all of his
well then,
actors.
okay,
He likes
that's
to be
normal.
where the camera's
Okay,
at.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of there
That's
are
all
a
I
couple of directors, or some directors will
I'm the
do
same
that,
way.
or if they want to be
I'd
some
rather-
scenes they'll be close to the person, and then some scenes they'll be sitting at Village.
What's his face? Quentin Tarantino. He does the same thing.
Yeah.
He's right next to the camera.
Yeah.
He's not operating the camera, but he's right there.
I'd
But
love
he will
that
take over the
environment.
camera, I'm sure, because that's just who he is.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
Gotta make sure you're in the
The
in the camera union. Man.
yeah, they would not be happy if the director started touching and moving the camera. That would not be a good thing to do.
A lot
I
of
feel like-
big directors though make sure they're part of every union to make sure that they can do that.
Yeah,
That
and
they
you gotta be.
And I
and-
feel like Quentin Tarantino doesn't give a flying. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing: Quentin Tarantino might not, but the unions do, and the
Yeah.
camera union would just be like,
If the union.
Especially
"Okay,
those-
Quentin Tarantino,
to be
you're
honest-
not part of our union, but you keep touching our cameras. Well, we won't let any of our people work on your movies. How about that?"
I'm not sure if it's true or not, but apparently the only reason we're still wearing masks right now on set is because of SAG. Like that's the only SAG is making productions still have COVID stuff.
Despite the fact that
Disney's
the
about
majority
to
of people
release some
are
info on
a lot of
Are vaccinated?
like I was talking to the first AD, I think, or I overheard the first AD. Someone was talking about it, and they were like, "It's big. It's SAG is keep."
It's just one company has to change their policy, and then everyone else will follow. Like
But
a big company,
but
and
SAG
Disney's about to
Well,
do
this-
something.
but
in
in
this
this
case,
case, it's
the
SAG.
union. It's SAG.
the
that's doing it.
union is requiring.
I know, I understand that,
Oh.
but I'm saying once a big company like Disney changes their policy, then SAG and everybody else will follow. That's how it works.
I get possibly.
You know how many SAG people are on Disney productions probably today?
Yeah, but they might say like
The
we won't
majority.
work until you.
At Trilith,
Go back
at
to
Trilith
the-
alone, it's like 5 productions.
Yeah.
But they might say.
So
we're not
if,
gonna-
if Disney's like,
we're gonna
hey,
hold out
hey,
until
SAG,
you change that.
we're changing our policy, you think they're just going to be like, nope.
But that might be an
Yeah,
exception. They might.
I don't know.
Have Disney as an exception.
You know, I don't know. I don't know enough about the. I do know enough to know that SAG and Disney are both very powerful, so there would be some discussion there. I don't think Disney holds
I'm
enough of
telling
the
you,
cards
I was
that they would just be
talking
able
with
to-
a SAG rep yesterday because on my latest short, Opposites Attract, they
You had a SAG. How did?
Jordan is SAG, and he
Yeah.
texted me saying that he
So he's
that
in
I
the union,
can't
but he's not a
submit it to
representative.
festivals and all that stuff, and I checked up, and I can still, even if he's SAG.
Or
Jordan?
you reached out to a
buddy
rep.
that is a SAG rep, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
And then
Jordan's,
we were just talking.
Jordan said you can't submit to a festival because he's SAG.
Jordan said this. It's totally slipped his mind. He said, by the way, I forgot to tell you this, which is my bad, but I can't really be put into festivals or profited off of in any way because I'm SAG and could get in trouble for that. And I didn't think that was the case, and then I looked into it, and he did too.
Why would that?
Did you talk to him more
Because
about
SAG
that?
is stupid, dude. I hate
No, but
unions.
did you ask him like why that is?
I did.
Like, do they have a thing that you can't unless
just
you
said-
got paid for the
At first,
production?
because I was thinking about it, I was trying to figure it out, but I did some Googling and stuff. It said nice. He said, sorry, dude, still mine. Says cool.
Oh.
And then I texted him again the next day. I said, hey, bro, can you send me some reference for the SAG thing? I want to look more into it. I can't find anything. I'm Googling. And then he sent me something. He said, found this might be more lax than I thought it was.
Oh, okay. So he just
thought, yeah.
I got you.
But it's not the case.
Are you planning on submitting that to festivals?
Probably, yeah.
Why do you
Okay,
think
then I'll make
flash?
sure.
The numbers
Make sure
are flashing on your camera.
I put it up on
It means that it
Film
is.
Freeway or
It's
whatever.
It's about to roll over video. So what the way that my camera works is I think it shoots for like 12 minutes, and then it starts a new video automatically.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
weird.
when it's flashing, it means that it's coming to the end of that.
yeah.
Versus Tazi's, which just stops. Yeah. In that case, I gotta make
Look
sure.
at the little itty bitty baby shotgun mic you got there. That's so cute.
It's
really-
our backup.
but it's a lifesaver though, because my computer ran out of disk space the other podcast, and we were able to capture the last like 5 minutes of the podcast on that mic.
It's actually not bad.
Your computer did.
Yeah,
My
Audition.
computer did. Yeah, I needed to delete a bunch of stuff. I've got to back up my
What
computer.
did
and
you just say
clean
just
it
a
up.
second ago about when I said might submit it to festivals? You said what?
I was curious what festivals you were like. what
Oh,
were you
I don't
trying
know.
to
I
say?
had a lot of research to do, but it's
Oh.
up on Film Freeway. I think that's what I'm going to use.
I'm
And then
gonna
I need to look at
submit it to the
blogs.
local harvest
Are you
festival.
Are you putting that short out online first before you submit it to festivals? Or are you gonna wait?
I don't know. This depends on
Renaissance
the festivals.
Festival.
Oh, okay.
But
I was more
probably,
just for the viewers out there if they wanted to watch it. So in that case, probably by the time this comes out,
Lots of other
my goal
festivals.
right now is to submit it next
They're not
Friday
listening.
on the 18th,
Mm.
or not submit it,
Post it.
release it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So in
So
that case,
I might.
Good
by the
stuff.
time this episode is out, it should be released. Because we're gonna be we film these podcasts about a week in advance, and Brent and I are going to a wedding, so we're also gonna film this one extra early. So opposites attract. If it is released,
Currently
I will
it's
link below. And
June 9th.
if it is not released, I'm sure I will be editing in some sort of text here, making fun of myself.
Also, once you guys do see it, I'd love to get feedback. Even if it's like 10 years down the road, I want feedback on it still. You know what I'm
10
saying?
years down the road, hopefully this will be not that great
What?
compared to your other work.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I still want to hear stuff about it 10 years down the road.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He wants to still hear people criticize.
Why are you so judgmental this morning?
Okay, 10 years ago, one of your home videos. You want to hear
It's not
criticism
a
on
home
that?
video.
I think it's
Okay.
a little. I think that's a little different. He's at this point. He's
Okay, Agent Zero. You want to hear criticism about that?
no, but I
That's a
wasn't
movie.
pursuing-
That's an actual movie.
But
that
I wasn't
we did.
pursuing. I wasn't pursuing a career in film. Then I wasn't trying to get better.
Listen, I've done stuff before.
I didn't shoot any of Agent Zero. That was entirely Jeremiah.
I was trying to remember if you were even in Agent Zero.
I was.
You
I
were
was
the bad guy.
I was the main
Why,
villain.
in the dawn of this new age
of technology and wonders, would you carry such a remedial weapon as this?
'Cause it's a gun.
For those of you and Tazi who don't understand,
No clue what's
so
going on.
we made a host of home videos as always when we were children, and our neighbor made a lot of them with us, and his family had done their own home movie about a secret agent named Agent Zero,
Mhm.
and so his older
Borderlands
brother.
3.
No. Well,
Have you
It
played
was supposed to
Borderlands
be-
3?
yeah, we...
The Zero character?
Did you play with us? No, it was me and Josiah and then older brother Nate. Played
How
it
long ago was this?
when it first came out. We didn't play all the way through. We only played a little bit, and then...
I know how long ago were you guys shooting these videos?
Oh, this was like when we were
was
in middle school.
Middle
Oh, okay.
school.
Yeah,
Borderlands
yeah.
3 hadn't even come out yet.
No.
Borderlands 3 copied your guys' character.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
but Agent Zero
Agent
was this just super cool, can do whatever he wants, no flaws sort of character.
Great.
And the villains were stupid.
Like
in the first one, the guy has this whole convoluted plan to have a full-fledged invasion of Tajikistan.
And
which they only found out because at the place where they're filming, where their dad's work or something like that, there was a large like wall map, and so he just went over to somewhere kind of like in the Africa, Middle East area, like Europe, and just kind of pointed to a random place. And that was found the funniest name of a country.
It's so
and
great.
Tajikistan.
It's like 30 seconds of being like, we ship troops from France into North Africa through Egypt, ship them across the Suez Canal, run them through Saudi Arabia, surround the border, and launch a full-fledged invasion of Tajikistan.
Nice.
We're just reminiscing about old home movies. So Agent Zero was something we spent over a year making.
It was a year because we couldn't sucked at filming.
Yes, finally.
You got what?
Nothing. Somebody just finally messaged me back. I've been waiting a while.
Oh, okay.
It took so long because we didn't film very consistently and weren't great at filming. I remember we were doing a chase scene and we spent an entire day, like almost the entire day, like 6 hours maybe, filming us running up and down stairs because that's where the chase scene, it was in a stairwell, and that was basically the entire thing. And then in the final movie, the chase scene was about, I don't know, 10 seconds or something.
Welcome
like
to the
that.
movies. That was making that was the introduction to how long it actually takes to make a movie.
But it was like runs up some stairs, runs up some more stairs, shoots twice, runs up some more stairs, gets to the roof.
Yeah, best part about that though was we had to do a reshoot for it because the writer and director wanted to do insert this joke. Brent was like the comic relief character. This is so funny. Brent was the comic relief character in the movie, and he
is this still for Agent Zero?
Still Agent Zero. He hated it.
I feel like I did.
Yeah, so his character...
There was at one point, I think I said that.
His character was supposed to be, like, Agent Zero was cool, said all the cool one-liners. He was an idiot.
99?
You were Agent 99, I think. But his character was an idiot who was incompetent and terrible at his job that Agent Zero constantly had to, like, pick up. And Brent, we had to convince him that this was a good role for the movie. That he was gonna be the funniest part of the entire movie. I feel like I could do it a lot better now. And that his character was an idiot, and that it was okay that he was an idiot because it was funny, and that it made the whole movie better. He was so mad.
I gotta remember that.
We'll move on. We'll move on from talking about Agent Zero though, but we are going to talk a bit about today about directors, which I feel like we touched on a little bit already.
Just a tad.
Well, it was just a thing. And
it's directors, TV versus
movies, which I've thought about it, and I talked to the DP on the movie I was just on, and he brought up a good point that from what I experienced in the TV shows that we did, the DP set up the DP and the gaffer and somewhat the key grip set up the shot, and were the people who set up the shot, and the director would just deal with the actors and figure that out. Mm-hmm. Whereas on the movie, the director there were multiple times where the director and the DP would clash on how to do a shot, or if they needed a shot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you say clash, do you mean like
the DP would be like
they're collaborating?
They're
collaborating.
No, I think the DP was
collaborating.
No, it was the DP wanted a shot, and the director would be like, "No, I don't think that. I don't want that shot." Or the DP would be like, "I think that, like, I've set up a shot," and the director would be like, "Well, let's change this," and he'd be like, "That's gonna make that shot look not great," and he's like, "Well, I don't care. Let's do it."
Oh gosh, I hate this director already.
He wasn't he wasn't that bad. But whereas on the TV show, and this is what the DP said. He was like, I understand it because on a TV show you need to keep a consistent look throughout all the episodes because you get a different director every episode.
Yeah.
But the DP stays the same throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen Yellowstone?
No.
It's the same
but
director.
I don't know the lead man, but I know the lead man's son
Kevin
who is
Costner?
a gang boss. No, lead man.
He knows
He's
lead
the
man
head
on
of the.
show.
He's like the set deck person.
Oh, I have no clue anything about set decorating.
Okay.
Look,
I work in the
roles and
crew
stuff
part.
like that.
The parts that actually make your movies work, Tazi.
I love
You
you
need to-
criticize him.
I'm
for
not
being,
criticizing him at all. I'm just saying I
I'll
don't know the
refer you
roles.
back to the end of episode 007, where you criticized Brent, saying his opinion was irrelevant because he was
It
a
is.
set dresser.
It's irrelevant. It's
Tazi,
irrelevant.
if
It's
you have
that
that- if
opinion.
you have that
That
mind-
opinion
if
you
you-
had was irrelevant.
If you have that mindset,
I don't have that
on
mindset for
sets,
everything, but when you have
you are gonna be
ideological
hated by your
ideals
crew.
on
If you
what is
do
good and
not
what
res-
isn't good,
you're gonna have an on-set dresser as a director, and you have to work with that person, like
I
just as
know.
much as the DP.
I know.
So why are you saying it's irrelevant?
I'm
They
saying
have
I'm not
valid
saying
points.
set directors in general.
You
I'm
said,
saying
oh,
you as a set director in that moment
That's not even a position.
irrelevant.
There is no set director.
set
Set dresser.
deck whatever.
Set dresser.
I'm being.
You get what I'm
I get
saying.
what you're doing. I get what
You're just trying to
Doing a
poke
bit.
my buttons. And I'll hit you over the head and dent the other side with this.
Is that what you did? Please don't tell me you hit someone over the head with that.
I can't
Tazi.
disclose
Have
that
you seen
information
Noah
legally.
Gosh. But back to what you were saying.
it's.
I will say this.
It seemed
After you say whatever
I
you
mean,
say.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to if I was in the director's position, I would know more what it felt like. But it seems like the way that TV shows do it is, I don't know. It's more. I don't know. Thinking about it, I'm split on it now because again the
Yes!
yes
Proceed.
the movie is the director's vision, I guess. So.
I'm
He has I guess more say about what it looks like, whereas the TV show is the individual episode is their vision, so the shots are less
I sort
their call, but it seems a lot more
Sorry.
smooth if you have the DP, the gaffer, and the best and not the best boy and the key grip deal with lighting, shots, and everything like that, and the camera operators sometimes will help do that too.
I think here's my take on the whole thing, and I think it depends on the movie that you're making, or just the content you're making, because it is so different from TV shows. It's just a different style of filmmaking in general. But when you're making something, when we talk specifically about features, let's break it down. Right, you talk specifically about features, and then you have different categories of features, like budget-wise.
Mhm.
You have, Blumhouse films, which are no more than $5 million, which is technically low budget.
Yeah.
Then you have like micro budget, which is like $500K around there. You don't have all of this money to hire all of these roles for the most part. When you have $500,000, I would hope you could stretch that money. You have a good producer to be able to stretch that money in a way that you put enough on-screen finances so that it looks good, and then you also have enough behind the camera to be able to perform the on-screen look. But I would say this, because my experience with the two different types, the big budget, low budget, and then like medium budget or whatever, I would consider like $5 million.
Hold on.
Yeah, I've got it. My card is full. I gotta delete some stuff quickly. Keep saying what you're saying because your camera's stuck on. You're good.
So basically, my experience with the two, one with the very minimal budget, the micro budget, is anything goes. Like, you can really do anything as a director, as a are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, I just want to
I
make sure.
choked on my spit a little bit.
Don't do that. Don't die on. Actually, wait till this camera's up, then you can die.
Wait till the camera's on you, then you die.
Yeah.
Like a true actor, you don't do anything unless the camera's on you.
For sure.
Ooh. Continue.
So, with a medium budget, which is $5 million, so indie, I've been on a lot of those. And It depends on the experience mainly of the director and their style of filmmaking. Where are you going? Potty?
I've been drinking coffee the whole podcast. I need to go to the bathroom.
Don't fall in.
Oh, it's real hard there, Tazi.
Okay.
But with the $5 million budget, like I'm saying, it really depends on the experience of the director, because I was working on this like super indie budget film, and the director he's foreign, so his experience with film is a totally different industry than, say, LA industry, even though it was filmed in, most of the crew was from LA, but it was filmed here in Atlanta. And that film, while making it, was very like drastically different than, say, another $5 million movie because of his experience. One instance in particular, I mean, this happens a lot, but with movies this way, but in particular, I'm sure it was the DP. I'm not completely sure. I wasn't working in like a special role. I was just on set doing like background work or whatever, because I wanted to be a part of that. There was a few people that I wanted to meet. And I don't know if it was a DP or if it was a producer, but it was something to do, or maybe it was the AD. See, I don't even know, because the roles aren't clear on those sets, because some people are doing multiple different hats. Even, it's unlikely that would happen in a general $5 million
the AD
movie.
usually isn't going to be doing anything like creative-wise. They're usually the ones like kind of controlling the crew.
Well, controlling the crew and the pace of how we're shooting things. Like they're speeding things up or slowing things down or whatever. Mainly just trying to speed things up, because they don't know, when you have to put beats and stuff like that. So I don't know. It was a scheduling issue, though, is what I'm saying. Like, he was saying we need to move on, or our time's running out. Like, you gotta get moving. We're already working 12 hours, and it was a SAG project too. So you can only work, what is it, 10 hours normally? What's a SAG hour?
No, you can work as long as they need you. It's just you have
No,
to
there
have a
is
certain
like
amount
a
of...
maximum.
I don't believe so. You just have to have a turnaround.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a maximum. There's SAG. How many hours?
I know that for regular crews, you work as long as you need, but they have to have a 10-hour turnaround from when you wrap to when the call time of the next day.
Oh, maybe that's it. Because it wasn't their last day. So maybe their next day call time was within that, like that window was shrinking.
Well, usually they don't set the call time until you wrap.
Well, they'll
have a prelim. They'll have a prelim call sheet that is what they want the next day to what they're expecting.
Like I'm saying, this is like a totally... I know those are all like general rules of thumb, but this one wasn't following any of the rules of thumb. And you'll get those on those $5 million movies, is what I'm saying. And so it depends on the experience and then of the director and the crew that is a part of it. Why are you giving me that face?
It was weird. It's back to normal now, but that eyebrow was like higher and pointier than the other one.
Hello,
What?
Mr. Rock Johnson.
It was weird.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Whatever. Is that important? Continue.
And so all I'm saying is it depends, because every set is different, and I'm sure you've experienced that, and you have. But every set is completely different from the next.
Yeah, it's basically just cut and paste the previous one.
But it's not like
it's not
No.
at all. But that's kind of what makes it exciting, though, right? To be on a new set is to like experience the new, I don't know, the new way.
Scared because it might be awful.
It is interesting to see. It's so weird to see the different ways that these productions run. I've noticed, like, okay, on WandaVision, like Matt Shackman was in the in the few instances that I got to see him working, it was so chill on set when I got to be on set.
Wait, on
like on WandaVision.
Oh, WandaVision.
I think there was one period of time where I was there for a significant amount of time, and they were setting up, and they had just finished a new shot. So I came on set, the cast was coming off, so I was like this close to Randall Park, so I was this close to Jim Halpert, guys. Like
Jim.
It's a little like, what?
Randall Park.
Yeah, it was Jim.
Asian Jim. Fun story about that. He forgot that he played Asian Jim. So he said, I was just walking down the street one day and someone just yelled, Asian Jim! And I thought he was being racist. So I turned around to like confront him.
I didn't know that was his name, dude.
Yeah,
Randall Park?
Jimmy Woo.
Yeah.
Old Jimmy Woo. But he turned around and was like, I thought he was being racist and I was going to confront him about it. And he's like, for Asian Jim from The Office. Just like, oh yeah, thank you. And then I realized, and then I just looked it up, and I guess that one scene, that one day I was on set, has blown up.
I
really
remember
popular. But anyway, but being in there in that moment, it was like the DP and Matt were just like sitting by the camera, working out the shot. It was one of the Darcy shots of Darcy sitting at her computer. Hey,
Tazi.
Tazi, the audience can't see this.
Who am I? I'm
Tazi.
Jim. We've been working together
Tazi.
for 12 years.
I can't close it. I'm
We're Joe
uploading
White.
stuff.
So turn it off.
That's
then.
Jim.
pause it.
Jim's not
Is it
Asian.
touchscreen?
You seriously never
No.
noticed? Hey.
Hats off for you for not
seeing
seeing
race.
race. But the other set again, I don't have the same on-set experience that Brent does. I've been on 2 productions.
you could clip this and show it to him.
Nah, we'd get copyright stricken.
And
You
one
wouldn't.
you were sitting out on a dirt road telling trucks not to go through.
Basically, and I blew a shot because
Who
I
cares
held my
what you-
hands up.
Hold on.
I held my hands up for just quickly. I held my hands up for this roadie to stop. Not
Right.
roadie. What's the word?
Teamster.
Teamster. Thank you. Not roadie.
Roadie.
Roadie is the music industry. For this Teamster to stop.
And a roadie and a Teamster are very different.
And then
things.
as I put my hands up and he stops the car, and then I put my hands down and I'm walking over the driver's seat to let him know what the frame is because he had just shown up.
Weird name.
And he just starts pulling forward after I'm out in front of the
He's
truck.
trying to give you some money, dude.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, no, he blew the shot because I immediately hear on the headphones, and there's a truck.
Yeah, that's not your fault really because
Oh yeah, but I got
Teamsters
blamed
can
for it.
either
course,
can
you're a
either be
PA.
the nicest, like the
Peers
coolest
are
people,
always to blame.
or the most like douchey people on the set. And it's
Teamsters?
really, yeah, for some reason they're just like, I'm someone
They
the
just
ones
think
that
they're
are
better.
douchey just seem like they're
They're
I'm
elitist,
so much
dude.
better than you. Like even worse than some.
That's
actors.
why I hate unions, dude. Because all of them, like a lot of people in the union, think they're better too, when they're not.
No.
Most of the time,
Again,
they suck.
I think it depends on the people. I also think it depends
Well,
on
it's my experience, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
Teamsters
I'm not saying
in
in
general.
general.
In
But yes, Teamsters
for the
in
like
general.
most part,
grips. I feel
because-
like most 479 IATSE
Grips
people
are-
are real cool.
freaking dope, dude. They're cool to chill with. We were having this storm on one set or whatever, and we couldn't. There was a lightning storm or whatever. It was a lightning storm, and we were chilling, and we just started talking about like the industry. We talked about Trilith and how it's a stupid name. Talked
talked to some
about
Teamsters
the
about
branding, how it's dumb. How because they said Pioneer, and I was like, oh, you mean Trilith, right? They have like some name for it, some like I don't know if you've heard it, but it's some like nickname or whatever. And you guys never heard any of that? Oh, okay.
I've never
because
heard
I
anyone
can't remember
call
what
it
it is.
anything but
But it was
Pinewood.
hilarious. It was hilarious. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, they're really cool people. Grips are
Um,
cool people.
But yeah, Teamsters, they
Nice.
they and sometimes they're kind of lazy because they have to drive the truck. But once you get to a place, technically they're the only people who should be operating the liftgate. But there's a lot of time they'll just go and sit in the cab, and you're like, can we get it? And then they seem like annoyed that you ask them to do their job,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're like, what?
That's a lot of people.
This is your
though.
j- it's
That's
a-
just like
it's a
people
lift
in-
gate.
A lot of
It's-
people in general.
But it's not even a hard job. It's pressing some buttons.
Yeah.
The hard part is driving the truck. But they seem
It's
annoyed.
not
that
even
they
the
have
hard part either.
The
Yeah.
driving. That's pretty much all they do.
I'm
Yeah, I
saying
know
it's
what you're
drive the
saying.
easy.
That's-
Oh no,
that's-
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
That the lift
Well,
gate
you
is the
said that's
easy-
not even
No,
the
that's-
hard
no,
part.
that's
That's
Yeah.
not even the hard part. The driving the truck is the hard part.
Like that's the hardest.
but
part of their
they're fine.
job,
They
driving
seem
a
okay
truck.
with that. But the lift gate always seems to be the part where they drag their feet, and like the ones who do
Yeah, they're like-
do that because I've met like plenty of Teamsters who are great, but for some reason it was
I
like
haven't.
the few ones that I've
Sad.
seen. I'm like, what? Why? This is It's pressing some buttons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard. And then there are some nice, cool Teamsters who are like, you can operate the gate. But then there's some who are like, if I see you touching the gate,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, whoa, calm down.
Relax,
You
then
were
do it.
sitting in the cab. I needed to get something on the truck.
And
I waved to you, and you didn't do anything, so I just went and did it. Or you weren't around the truck. You were over talking to your other Teamster buddy.
Yeah. You should explain that whole scenario because I'm just realizing now a lot of people probably don't know what you're talking about.
Teamsters?
No, not just Teamsters, but the
Oh,
whole.
well,
Yeah.
like liftgate. Well, I mean, you're in a
Yeah.
5-ton truck, so like basically it's just like a semi.
The flip is that?
That's our ice maker.
I think it's the ice maker.
Huh.
Just
In a big truck?
I mean, assuming everybody knows, but 5-ton, big truck. It has a lift gate, and usually the Teamster is there. They're basically just like drivers. They'll drive the trucks because they're big trucks. You need I think it's the commercial driver's license to drive those, but they also have stuff to drive like all the other vehicles, so like forklifts, gradles, condors, all that kind of stuff.
They're certified to
They're
drive. just about
I think
anything.
you have to be certified, and I think there's certain. I think it's at least CDL forklift
Yeah, you have to have
and-
specific certifications for
and
forklift.
condor.
the-
I think. are
What's the
ones-
one that like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a
Scissor lift?
Yeah, scissor lift.
That one is
That one
it's
you
got
have to
the
have
scissor things that just goes up and down.
Yeah, that one.
And then
you have
also
to have a
can drive it.
certification for too.
I
What's
think
that?
so.
Yeah, I think you do. But
But
Yeah,
so
continue.
they're for the most part the Teamsters.
so
will
you
be
need
sitting-
in, and you have to
You
tell
need
them-
to get into the truck because you can't just.
What's
put
in the
stuff
truck, Brent? What's in the truck?
Equip your wife's head.
I wish I had a wife.
You wish your wife's head was in the back.
said
I wish I had a wife. I wish it was my wife's head because at least that means I would have had a wife.
I'm so lonely.
The topic, I'm taking it back to
what's it
where
called?
The thread-
Teamsters.
No. I always had the thread, and then we started talking about Teamsters because I brought up a Teamster in one of the
Well,
stories.
we're
I was
talking about Teamsters.
Well, can I finish my thought on directors?
Hold
Oh
on.
yeah, you haven't had like really any talking time.
Okay, fine. Go.
Fine, whatever.
to
dude.
bring us to remind the audience what I said.
because you're just across the table
I
from
know,
me.
I've just been looking at you the whole time.
I'm gonna block this one out.
Matt Shackman
Hey, Tazi.
was running his set very well. I then
So,
worked on a
Teamsters,
Netflix movie.
What do you think about that?
I worked on a Netflix. I day played on a Netflix movie for what's it called? It's called Sextuplets. It's a comedy, and it's a very yeah. All right, guys, we're rolling the mid-roll. If you guys want to support us, you can head on over to patreon.com/filmfeast, where you can get our episodes early, get access to our Discord. You can be the first one with access to our Discord. If you want to message us, please send us an email over at info.filmfeast@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And now back to the episode.
I said come back. Justin begged a lot, and
I was
Women
crying.
made love.
So, again,
no.
just in short, Matt Shackman,
Negative.
calm, cool, collected,
What?
worked with other
Negative.
people, helped the set. You guys are so noble.
Why are you saying negative?
This thought would take all of a minute
Okay,
to finish.
continue. Sorry.
Muzzle me.
Matt Shackman, calm, cool, collected,
I
helped the whole
would.
set, helped everyone be on collaborative and just made it a good experience.
A great man.
Versus on Sextuplets, which was
Sextuplets.
which was an
Oh,
actor-led
like six
actor-led movie.
Children.
The actor wrote it. The actor starred in it and played 6 different roles
The
in
actor
it.
has a big ego.
The actor has a big ego.
He
The
plays 6
director
different
has
roles.
had a big ego, but he just couldn't deal with the actor. The biggest annoyance was Marlon Wayans wrote into the script that he had to wear a fat suit. All right?
Uh-huh.
And then they shot in the middle of summer. And so we, in the middle of our day, we go to lunch. And he just says, I'm not coming back from lunch for a bit.
All right.
He's the only actor in the scene.
All right.
We're like, So the director, when he finally, so it's an
would
hour
leave,
and a half after lunch. They've just been filming some
If I was a
inserts,
director, I would leave too.
but they were shooting
Go
some.
back
They
out.
were just shooting some inserts with the stand-ins, and Marlon is walking past my lockup, and the director comes out and just starts screaming at him, just screaming and yelling at him.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I would probably do
for
the
real.
same
I think
fucking
the director
thing.
was pissed, and I'm on board with the director in this situation. The difference is the director didn't have the power in this situation. Marlon Wayans did, because Marlon Wayans understood this was his movie. He could do whatever the heck he wanted, and he didn't.
Was
care.
he financing it?
I don't know if it was.
It's just
No, it's a
so
Netflix
stupid.
movie. Netflix is financing it. Marlon Wayans has a deal with Netflix. He's made a bunch of movies for them.
I don't even know. who
But
this is.
the point was is
Scary movie.
he did like Scary Movie. He and his brothers have done a ton of
This
comedies.
is why we have the internet.
But the point is that environment was not enjoyable
He
to
also
work
did a
in.
movie with a baby.
Yeah, that environment was stressful,
So did I.
and it was hostile, and it was all because
Oh, this guy?
Yeah, and it was all because the people in charge,
You can look up Sextuplets.
were treating it like
I remember watching that now.
that.
You watched that movie?
I did.
Why?
Because it was on in the
I
background.
didn't even watch it. I checked to see if they. At
I
the
want to watch
time
this
I
movie when
checked
it
to
comes
see
out
if they
because there are some
put.
very cool looking shots.
At the time, I checked to see if I was in the credits, and that's before I realized that day players don't get in the credits.
I'll be in the credits. It'll say Georgia Unit, and I'll be there under your set dresser.
There we go.
What was I gonna say? Crap.
Yeah, have you?
Oh yeah, this movie.
Yeah,
I'm
why
gonna
did I
see.
watch this?
We might.
Probably recommend
It might. It might not be great,
I
but
didn't
there are
watch the
some
whole
some of the shots they did that
This
the
is a Tyler
gaffer
Perry
and-
movie, isn't it?
No, it's a
No.
Marlon Wayans production in association with Netflix.
Michael.
Well, out of curiosity, because
It looks really pretty.
Brent, you've worked on more sets than us. Your experience with how directors influence just the overall work environment and how important that is.
I mean,
Is it important?
kinda on
I have to urinate.
First Wives
Go on
Club.
2.0. Go later.
The director really didn't affect the
What was
vibe
the
of
question?
of the crew. They were, for the most part, the
How did
three
directors
directors I
affect
worked with.
Affect the
The
environment.
the three directors I worked with, they were all just kind of, again, with the TV show, I think it was a little different. That they weren't really. Once we did the rehearsal, they would do a rehearsal, then a marking rehearsal for the cameras. So like one of the ACs would come in and mark their
Yeah.
spots, and then they would leave, and we'd work for maybe like 20 to 40 minutes setting up the shot. And the director would either go and talk with the actors more, or just kind of chill until we got the shot set up. So they weren't really affecting the mood very much. I feel like usually it's just the crew itself, and then kind of the AD, the first AD, other people who kind of do that. But it's just kind of who you're around on the set. There's no like,
Okay.
I feel like the director doesn't have a whole
It's
lot
more
of influence
it's
on
like
TV.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because they're
unless like something big
Well, I mean,
happens.
They're
what
recycled,
about on
basically.
the feature?
But on the feature as well, like I mean, maybe a little more influence, but not
influence in one way. Are you talking about the way the image looks?
like that.
No,
No,
I
the way
mean
that the
work environment.
like if the director makes the crew happy or not. Or
Oh, no,
if
typically
anything
it's
at all.
separated.
It's I mean,
yeah. I mean, the chain of command is just
to be honest, is
don't talk to the director in a lot of cases unless you're a part of that.
unless you're a
creative-
lead, which
Well, unless you're-
technically I'm a lead because I'm the only. Like the director will talk to
that
me, he'll talk to props, he'll talk to the
Mhm.
Or did you say the
DP.
name of the place?
super.
Of
Sub.
the okay, I didn't. I forgot if you said it or not.
Yeah, so was
I didn't sign an NDA technically. I'll just say the name of the thing because
He's
that's
also
a
not
public
talking
thing, but
plot
I'm not.
at
I'm
all.
not talking about any of the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on who you're around. There are some things.
So with,
there are
with that
some
one
things
specifically,
that can affect the mood of certain people. Like
what was the budget for that one?
I have no idea.
It was on the smaller end though, right?
I think so. I mean, they only shot for I think like 40 days, something like that.
That's a lot. That's a lot of days.
It's a month, like a month and a half
40
of
days?
shooting.
That's not that much.
A month and a half of shooting
For a feature?
They shot like 20 days in Montana and 20 days
On
in
the giant,
Georgia.
on.
Oh no! Wait, no. No, maybe they only shot for 20 days.
That sounds more realistic.
Wait, did they?
For an indie thing like that,
I think they only
it's-
shot for 20
the
days.
The days are smaller than normal
But
studio budget. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
asking.
I guess technically they could affect the mood of some people, but it's not really like an overall mood of the crew unless something big happens. But like with me, the scripty and props, if like the DP or the director are like, well, I want this because it looks better, and then we're like, well, continuity wise that doesn't make sense, and they're like, well, I just don't care, and then you're like, why can't this? You just get frustrated because you're like
Because
the scripty multiple times would go through the director and be like, hey, this thing, and like half the time the director would be like, oh yeah, let's go change that, or the DP would be like, oh yeah, let's go change that, but then half the time he'd be like, do we have to? Is it? I think it's okay. It'll be fine. And then
were they small things? Like what was it? What were like
Coffee
do you have an
shop,
example?
coffee
well, okay, let me. There's one I can think of where, there's a shot where two characters get out of a car and then like a power line, like the I can't think of the word for it. On the power line, the two big like cylinders, like those things explode because it's in the middle of a storm.
Classic.
I can't think of what it's called, but that thing explodes.
Power cells.
The super cells.
Get it?
No, it's
Because the
tornado.
movie name.
It's the tornado.
The movie's the name.
But
of
so we shot it from the right side, from the passenger side, and the guy gets out that side, and the girl gets out this side, and she stops probably about the side view mirror when the thing goes off, and they both like duck down and look at it. And we did the reverse of it on the driver's side. She's like all the way at the front of the engine, and so then the script was like, hey, if you want to be able to cut between these two things, you're gonna want to have her stay by the door, because otherwise you can't cut because she's gonna jump and people will notice that. Yeah. So you can, if you're gonna use that take, you can only use that shot.
Sounds
you can't
like
cut
a
back and forth.
budget film.
And he was like, it's okay, we can just go. And then apparently like later that night, he texted the script team with like, oh, you're right.
When they're looking
like,
back at dailies.
Yeah, they're probably looking back at the dailies.
That's so funny.
And there were a couple other
that's
things
what
like
you
that.
get for not listening, son.
There was one thing where on the dashboard of the van, there's a bunch. There was like a storm chaser van or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And on the dashboard there was a bunch of maps and books. And,
you said meth books.
And I was like,
lots of meth in books.
I made sure it was all right. And then I like went and did something, and I came back, and like some of the stuff was gone from in front of the dashboard because they were shooting through the windshield. And I went and asked the director, I was like, "Hey, did you move this?
Don't move my shit!"
And he was like, "It looked like a script because it was like a map book."
Yeah.
He's like, "It looked like a script." And I was like, "But yeah, it was in the last shot. It was like in the reverse, like you could see half the book." And he's like, "Yeah, I just think it looked reverse." Okay.
Out of curiosity, did you feel like you were treated any different because of your age?
No.
Okay, I was just curious about
not
that.
at all. The best boy electric was 20.
Grow a beard, dude. You look older.
And the scripty was 22 as well.
Somebody told me I looked like I was 27 the other day.
Gee, is it because you told them you were 27?
No. I said yeah after that.
But no, the age thing, I feel like with some of the older people, and for the most part, I think people were saying not a lot of people asked my age.
I do have to urinate, so I'll be back.
Right,
so, but
out okay.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude.
But people didn't really.
No, I feel like people don't care as much about the age thing. Some people, I think some of the older people were more of like back in my day kind of thing. But
do you think that there are more and more younger people on the sets as you've worked on them?
Kinda, sort of.
I'm curious about that.
For the most part, the young people are the key PA was older than me. He was, I think, 26 or 27, something like that. But
chose the wrong career path.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, I'm curious about that because I feel like in Georgia, especially, a lot of more young people are working in the industry because it's become just so much easier to sort of break in Georgia.
Jordan, the
LA.
props master, who was also the onset because they only had one person in the props department. She was 25. She did GFA and she's apparently. This is the first time she's done props, but apparently for the most part she's been a production designer. Okay. It's probably been on smaller things, but still she's been doing production designing.
I know the Georgia Film Academy has definitely made it easier for people to break in. IATSE is also just desperate for new people anyway to help fill all of the
They
crew
should lower
requirements.
the cost of admission then.
It's only $1,200.
That's a lot of money to me, dude.
I mean, they also
money's money, bro.
But the point the whole point of all that is it's much easier now for young people to get into the industry. Obviously, that might change in the next 10 years as more and more people get hired.
Real quick, I have a question. Abby and I have been arguing about this. Is this shirt? What color is this shirt to you guys?
Brown.
Wait, hold on. What color is this shirt?
Brown.
Tazi.
Brown.
What color do you think it is?
Great.
Dude, you are colorblind.
This is great.
You are colorblind.
I can sort of see that.
I don't see that at all.
This shirt is gray.
You're color. The sombrero is the same color as the shirt.
Hey, Brent.
Sombreros aren't gray; they're brown.
Brent.
That does not matter.
That matters, dude.
Chewy isn't yellow.
Dude, he's more yellow than he is.
I would say, Brent, that is
gray.
I would say, Brent, that shirt is brown.
Yeah, I'd say your brain isn't working properly.
You're agreeing with her.
You should have told us what to say first.
No,
that doesn't
To win.
I hate you.
And we're back.
Hi, guys.
You guys are jerks.
Just it's brown, dude. Get
Okay,
over
you
it.
know what?
Quite an episode, guys. If you want to support us, you can do so by going to patreon.com/filmfeast. If you want to email us, you can do so at info.filmfeast@gmail.com. We're going to keep it nice and short today, just like the episode. I hope you all have a wonderful day.